This video is sponsored by PageProof.
I'm Steve Caplin for CreativePro, and we're going to look at Google Gemini 2.5 image engine now available directly in Photoshop. Now, Photoshop has had its Firefly image generation for quite a long time, but even Adobe would admit it's not perfect. Here's a black and white image, which I've colorized using Photoshop's built-in neural filters. It's kind of okay, but for some reason it's interpreted the sand as sea, and the background doesn't make a lot of sense. The skin tones aren't very good. Here is the same image colorized using Google Gemini 2.5, which is better known as Nano Banana for reasons only known to Google. And you can see the difference. It's much cleaner image, a good strong colour for that bucket. It's correctly interpreted the sand rather than water. It's even put some water right in the distance. But of course it's not just colorizing images. The thing about Nano Banana is it can do anything that you can imagine, and plenty of things that you can't imagine. And it's rather like someone telling you, I had a really interesting dream last night, and you think, oh, okay, but anything can happen in a dream, so whatever they say isn't going to be that interesting. It's kind of the same with Nano Banana. It can do anything. So I'm going to show you just 3 examples using different techniques. Here's a cabin out in the wilds, and we're going to change this and set it at night time in winter. So first of all, we select all, and then we can choose generative fill from the taskbar. Be sure to change the model from Firefly to Gemini 2.5 Nano Banana. And you can simply type in the change you want. So I'm going to say, make it winter at night. And we'll see what it does. It's made a new layer for this, as you can see. And it does take a few seconds, so let's skip ahead to the end. It has lit up the windows, it's added stars in the sky, and we can carry on. We can change it even more. Let's bring up our properties panel, and we could say, add a family round a campfire. Again, it'll take a few seconds to do this, so let's skip ahead. And there's our image with the campfire. You'll notice it's changed the scene from the original nighttime view, and that's because it generates a different image each time. If you don't like the one it's got, you can just hit the Generate button and it'll make a new one for you. Let's look at another example. In this image, I've got 2 extra layers. I've got part of a bicycle and I've got a woman kneeling. I'm going to select all, go to Generative Fill. The G icon indicates that Nano Banana is selected, and this time I'll type in, make the woman ride the bicycle down a country lane. And there she is riding directly towards us. It is clearly the same woman and the same bicycle. Even though part of the bicycle was missing, it still managed to capture it. Note how it's even put in the shadow on the road of this woman on the country lane. And if you think that's extraordinary, wait till you see what else Nano Banana can do. Here's a woman sitting on a sofa reading a newspaper. I typed in the prompt, position the woman lying down on the sofa with a laptop. And here's what it gave me. It is very clearly the same woman, wearing the same clothes. Notice how it has shifted the whole scene to the right, so we can see the cushions on the end of the sofa for her to be leaning against. But what happened to the newspaper? Well, it deleted it. So I said, put the newspaper on the table. Now this is really very interesting. If you look at the original, there's the newspaper. It's got a fold down the middle of it, and yet Nano Banana has straightened it out and reproduced that newspaper exactly and placed it perfectly on the table. You'll notice as well that she's now facing the other way, and we could add into the prompt the direction we want her to be facing. I have added a couple more prompts. Firstly, I said, change the sofa to a bench and move the whole scene to a forest with evening sunset from the left. And here it is, still with the newspaper on the table, but of course it's changed the table to something more rustic to suit the environment. The lighting is perfect. Everything about this scene is completely convincing, and once again, it's very clearly the same woman that we started with, and the same newspaper. I then added another prompt saying change the view to looking down from above. And there is the scene again, a completely different angle of view, still with the newspaper, with the same woman leaning back on this bench reading her laptop. The capability of Nano Banana is limited only by your imagination, and you can keep on trying more and more effects until you get exactly the result that you want. The longer the prompt and the more detailed the prompt, the closer the result you get will be to what you want.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like and subscribe to our channel. And for thousands more how-to articles and tutorials, visit our website, creativepro.com, and become a member today. Thanks for learning with us.